I didn't throw his phone. I didn't wake him up. I didn't even move. I just stared at the screen and felt something inside me go completely cold. Because in that moment, my husband didn't just cheat on me. He erased me. My name is Claire Bennett. I'm 34 years old, married for 6 years, and until last night, I thought I knew exactly who I was to my husband. Apparently, I was just her. It happened at 1:42 a.m. Daniel was asleep beside me, one arm lazily draped across my waist like he still belonged there. His phone buzzed softly on the nightstand. I shouldn't have checked, but I did. One message, one name saved with a heart. I miss you already. Tomorrow can't come fast enough. She has no idea not Claire, not my wife, not even a name. Just she. I felt my fingers tighten around the phone, but my face? Completely calm. That's the scary part about betrayal. It doesn't always break you right away. Sometimes, it sharpens you. I opened the chat. 3 months. 3 months of late-night calls, secret dinners, hotel bookings disguised as work trips. 3 months of him telling her things he stopped saying to me years ago. You make me feel alive. I've never had this with anyone before. I almost laughed, because 6 years ago, he said those exact same words to me. I slowly placed the phone back exactly where it was. Same angle, same position, like nothing had happened. Then I looked at him, really looked at him. The man I trusted, the man I built my life around, sleeping peacefully, like he hadn't just destroyed everything. And right then, I made a decision. I wasn't going to confront him. Not yet. The next morning, I kissed him goodbye like always, made his coffee, adjusted his tie. Big meeting today, he said. I smiled. You'll do great. And as he walked out the door, I whispered under my breath, so will I. Because what Daniel didn't know was that I had already started planning. And I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to beg. I was going to let him keep lying. Right up until the moment it cost him everything. His career, his reputation, his perfect little double life. And her? Oh, she had no idea either. But she was about to. Because I wasn't her anymore. I was the consequence. I became someone he couldn't read. The hardest part wasn't finding out. It was pretending I didn't know. For the next few days, I became perfect. Too perfect. I laughed at his jokes, sat closer to him on the couch, even started texting him during the day. Miss you. He replied instantly. Funny how fast a guilty man responds. But while he thought I was getting closer, I was actually stepping back, watching, learning, documenting everything. Every late-night call he took on the balcony. Every meeting that magically ran past midnight. Every time his story didn't quite add up. And Daniel, he got comfortable. Careless. That's what liars do when they think they've won. 3 days later, I got my first real opportunity. Business trip, he said, adjusting his watch. Just one night. I smiled. Of course. But this time, I followed him. Not dramatically, not recklessly, carefully, quietly. I stayed 2 cars behind his taxi the entire way. Heart steady, hands calm. Because this wasn't about catching him anymore. I already knew. This was about confirming exactly how far he'd gone. The taxi stopped outside a hotel. Not just any hotel. The one he told me we couldn't afford for our anniversary. That hurt more than I expected. I watched him step out. And then, she appeared. Tall, confident, laughing like she had nothing to lose. He didn't hesitate. He walked straight to her, pulled her in, and kissed her like I didn't exist. No guilt, no fear, no hesitation. Just certainty. And that's when something inside me finally snapped. Not loudly, Not violently, just cleanly, like a switch. I didn't cry. I didn't storm in. I didn't even stay, because I had seen enough. On the drive home, I wasn't shaking anymore. I was thinking, planning, because now I knew something important. This wasn't a mistake. It was a choice. A repeated, deliberate, comfortable choice. And if Daniel was willing to risk everything for her, then I was going to make sure he lost everything because of her. When he came home the next day, I was waiting. Dinner ready. Candles lit. He looked surprised. Wow. What's all this? I smiled softly. Just missed you. He kissed me. The same lips I watched betray me hours earlier. And I let him. Because now, I knew exactly how this was going to end. Not with a fight, not with tears, but with something far worse. A fall he would never see coming. And this time, I wasn't just reacting. I was in control. I started taking everything back. Revenge isn't loud. It doesn't slam doors or break plates. Real revenge is quiet, precise, and patient. By the end of that week, I knew everything. Her name was Lily Carter, marketing consultant, single, confident, carefree, the kind of woman who doesn't ask questions because she doesn't want the answers. And Daniel? He wasn't hiding anymore. He was just managing two lives. Poorly. That's when I stopped reacting and started moving. Step 1, money. Not stealing, not rushing, just securing what was already mine. Joint accounts, investments, assets. I spent nights going through everything, learning passwords, tracking transfers, understanding exactly where every dollar lived. Because if this was going to end, I wasn't walking away empty-handed. Step 2, trust. I became everything he thought I was. Supportive, loving, blind. I even encouraged his late meetings. Don't stress, Daniel, I'd say. I trust you. That word hit him every time. Trust. It made him relax. And the more relaxed he got, the more careless he became. Then came step 3, the turning point. I texted her. Not as me, as him. Hey, small change of plans. Let's meet Friday. Same place. Simple. Clean. Undeniable. She replied instantly. Can't wait. Of course you can't. Friday night arrived, and everything was in place. But here's the part Daniel never saw coming. I didn't go there to catch him. I went there to replace him. Earlier that day, I had already set the stage. A carefully scheduled email, sent from Daniel's own account, to his boss, and HR. Attachments included hotel receipts, chat screenshots, call logs, enough to destroy the professional image he spent years building, and it wouldn't send until 9 p.m. Exactly when he'd be walking into that hotel with her. At 8:45, I parked outside, watched him arrive. Same confidence, same smile, still thinking he was in control. At 8:58, my phone buzzed. Email sent. I exhaled slowly. Not relief, not sadness, just completion. Because at that exact moment, Daniel wasn't just cheating anymore. He was exposed. And the best part? He still had no idea. I started the engine and drove away. No confrontation, no final words. Because the truth was, I didn't need to destroy him in front of me. I had already done it, everywhere else. And as for Lily? Oh, she was about to learn something too. Because when a man lies this easily, he doesn't just lie to his wife. He lies to everyone, including her. And very soon. They were both going to find out exactly what that costs. The day everything collapsed. At exactly 9:07 p.m., Daniel's world started falling apart. I wasn't there to see it, but I didn't need to be, because I already knew how it would unfold. First, his phone, buzzing, nonstop, boss calling, HR calling, emails stacking faster than he could open them, confusion turning into panic. Then, the realization, that sick, sinking feeling when the ground beneath you disappears. And right beside him, Lily, waiting, watching, probably asking questions he couldn't answer anymore. Because secrets are exciting, until they become evidence. By the time Daniel got home, it was past midnight. I was sitting on the couch, lights off, silence filling the room. He walked in fast, breathing hard. Claire, I raised my hand slightly, and for the first time in years, he stopped talking. You should check your email, I said calmly. His face went pale. I don't understand. No. I cut in softly, standing up. You do. You just didn't think I would. That's when it hit him. Not fully, but enough. Claire, please, I can explain. I laughed. Not loud, not emotional. Just done. Explain what, Daniel? I stepped closer. How you betrayed me for 3 months? Or how you destroyed your career in one night? Silence. Heavy, crushing silence. He looked at me like I was someone he'd never met before. And maybe I was. Who are you? He whispered. I held his gaze. I'm the woman you called her? That broke him. I saw it. Not love, not regret. Fear. Because now, he understood. This wasn't a mistake he could fix. This was an ending. I lost everything, he said quietly. I shook my head. No, Daniel, I replied, picking up my bag. You gave it away. And then I walked past him, no hesitation, no tears, just closure. But the story doesn't end there. A week later, I heard what happened. He got suspended. An internal investigation opened. Lily? She disappeared the moment things got messy. Of course she did. Because she didn't fall in love with Daniel. She fell in love with the version of him that didn't exist anymore. And me? I didn't go back. I didn't look back either. Because revenge was never the goal. Respect was. And the moment I chose myself over his lies, I had already won. So no, I wasn't her anymore. I was the woman who walked away after making sure he'd never forget my name again.